Welcome. I don't have an intro.
Okay.
Welcome to That's Cooked with Steph and Shazza. This is episode 3. My first ever guest. None other than the Heartbreak Core, Shazza McKenzie.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome?
Welcome. Why are you welcome? It's my show, bro.
I'm sorry, my bad.
It's not That's Cooked with Shazza McKenzie.
It's not.
It's not That's So Shazza. Is that still available anywhere?
I think it might still be on Spotify. I think it's really hard to scrub shit from Spotify.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I shouldn't say anything fucked?
I mean,
I'm going
it
to
is what it is.
It is what it is. But Shazza fucking McKenzie, what are you doing in Orlando, Florida? What are we doing here?
I'm trying to have a vacation.
And I'm making you work.
Yeah.
She said, I'm trying to vacay.
I'm trying to vacay, but my vacay ended up being like a lot of work in between.
But I think that is what happens when you're your own boss.
Yeah. But I really was trying. I was like,
we're all always trying.
I was trying to have a time where I got on a plane and I didn't have like wrestling gear in my bag. I didn't have outfits in my bag for when I'm going to shoot shit. Like I was trying to like switch off.
Do you have wrestling gear in your bag?
Of course I do.
Are you doing customs?
Of course I am.
I see. Okay. What? But that's
like, I wasn't originally, but when I was like, oh, well.
Especially if you're coming to Florida. But that's the thing is like, I feel, and I say this all the time, I always joke, I don't have a real job. People go, what do you have to do tomorrow? Nothing. I do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah. I'm my own boss and I have a real job and it's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
It doesn't stop.
It is unique in a sense of, you know, we can hang out by the pool on a Tuesday during the day when most other people are at work. But then I was explaining this to someone the other day is like most normal people work Monday to Friday and they have Saturday and Sunday, 2 full days to not think about their job, to not work, to do whatever they want. Yeah. What are those 2 days? Because when I fly in on a Monday or a Sunday or whatever, I don't spend the next 2 days doing nothing and fucking around. I'm straight back into, I've got to go to the post office and do my orders and upload content and ship this out and wash this and unpack my bag and sell this. And there's always something
that you have to do. It doesn't stop. It's like, that's why I was trying to give myself an actual vacation. But like, even then, like, even if I wasn't doing customs, I'm going straight from this vacation to bookings. Like I'm flying straight to a show. Then I'm flying to another show. Then I'm flying, like, I won't be, like, I'm on vacation, but I'm not going to be home for the next, like, 7 or 8 days. Like, yeah. And that's, like, by the time that's all done, I'm going to be fucked. So, like, whatever. It's life. We just keep going. Like, you get home and you think, okay, do I have time to do laundry? Yes. Good. Like I'm always, my brain is always like, when is the next time I'm going to have access to a laundry, to a washing machine?
Yes.
That I'm like, that is the main thing on my mind at
Isn't
all times.
It lovely when you're on a trip and you have access to a washing machine and you're like, I can wash my shit, so when I get home, I don't have shit to wash.
I don't have to just put
I've got a full bag of clean clothes that I can just take with me the next week.
Great. Easy. Great. Love it.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. More hotels with laundries.
More hotels with laundries, more hotels with microwaves, more hotels with fridges. That would change my life. Matt and I talk about that all the time.
It would just make everything so much easier.
And that's something that at the Fed you have as a luxury is like, for the most part, they know what hotels they're staying in. They're in generally good hotels that will have a fridge and a microwave and what you can look it up beforehand and see, you know what I mean? Like, or like you can book your own so you know what the fuck you're doing. Whereas on the indies, you're so at the mercy of like some promoter that's trying to save $30 that if you do get a room that is clean and has a microwave and has a fridge and the shower isn't leaking and I don't feel like I'm going to get fucking murdered, you're like, oh my God.
Oh my God, this has reminded me of a story of when I thought I was going to get murdered like a month ago.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so similar, not as similar to your horror story from episode 1. I listened to your podcast.
Oh my God, thank you. I don't even remember my own shit.
Yeah. But I was staying at this hotel that I've stayed there before, and it's very clearly dodgy as hell.
What city is this?
It is in Colorado.
And I've never even been to Colorado.
I have been there twice.
You're saying that, is that because you've booked that before or they've booked it?
They've booked it.
Okay.
This company, this is the hotel that they book everyone in.
Okay. Is that because there's no other hotels in the area, or is that just a cheaper option?
I don't know. I assume it's the cheap option.
You know how sometimes you're in a town and you're like, this hotel sucks, but I actually think this is the only place here.
I think there's probably other options.
Okay.
But I think they book this because they book everyone gets their own room, which in theory
should be better. But in practice, as a female, if I'm staying in a shithole hotel, and I've said this before, I would rather have another girl with me.
Please, yes.
Please.
Yeah.
If you're going to book me in a murder room, don't book me by myself.
This is a hotel where you get in your room, you put all the locks on, you close the thing. And I know one of the girls that whenever she stays there, she also puts a chair up against the door because it's not vibes.
Yeah.
But I was going downstairs to get my Uber for the morning, like it was like maybe 5 a.m. or whatever.
Right.
And I had to like go down to the lobby to get my Uber. And like I said, my Uber was like 3 minutes away. So I was like, okay, like by the time I like...
Wait, what time is this?
This is like 5 a.m.
Okay.
Maybe 4 a.m. It was like,
dark?
it was dark. It was nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, by the time...
It's not nighttime, it's morning, but it's dark.
Yeah. Sure. By the time I like get down there, I think, okay, my Uber's gonna like pull up and I'll be fine. But as I'm getting down there, I notice there's a car like in the car park, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does like a little bit of a loop around the car park. I think, okay, that's a bit strange, but like whatever.
Yeah.
Once I get down there, my Uber's still not there. It does like another loop around. Bit strange, but Uber's going to be here any second. Uber finally pulls up. I like go in my Uber. The other car pulls up beside me. There is a man driving the car and there is a woman in the passenger seat.
Oh.
And he leans over to me and he goes, "Hey, do you want to make some money?"
That's how sex trafficking starts.
It's literally it. Literally it.
Oh,
I have never jumped in an Uber quicker in my life.
Colorado?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, it was fucked. Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, like literally fucked. Yeah. So jumped in my car and fucked off. But that's the fun of traveling as a female by ourselves.
I'm so glad we're having this conversation because this is something that I don't give a fuck. I'll just say it. This is something that I've been seen as difficult since being back on the Indies in some aspects is because I will not stay in anything less than a 3-star hotel. And I think as a female traveling by themselves, that is more than understandable.
Absolutely.
Because especially, and I think I want to know your opinion on this because being a foreigner as well. But do you feel like because we were raised in such safe countries that now we're in such an unsafe country a lot of the time and a lot of the places that we're going, it hits you more?
Yeah, I think so. Like
I hadn't seen a gun in real life until I moved here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's like we can like there's areas in Australia that I sketchy and you don't feel safe or whatever, and there's been situations like that in Australia obviously, but it's the stakes are so much higher here when you feel like you're in an uncomfortable situation because like back home you feel like you're in an uncomfortable situation, like you might get gang attacked or you might get stabbed or something, but like if you're in,
you don't feel like you're catching a stray bullet.
You don't feel like there's like if you're in a bad situation, it's something completely unrelated to you is happening over there.
It can directly affect you.
Like
you can be an innocent bystander.
Exactly.
Easily,
like and that's not something that we ever had to worry about. Really.
Yes.
Like
not at all. That's the thing. It's like even in Western Sydney and areas like that, I feel like for the most part you were looking at like gang related stabbings.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's usually what you see on like the news and or even if it's a shooting, it's like someone that's in the underbelly. It's all targeted.
Yeah,
it's never really a random shooting. I think that because that happens so often here, it's like such a culture shock.
Yes.
You know, like little things like, I have friends here who they'll, reverse their car into park so that they never have their back to the parking lot so that they can see everything that's going on around them.
That's smart.
It's super smart. But I told my parents that and they go, that's insane. I'm like, that's a friend that lives in New York City.
Yeah.
So that's a reality.
Yeah, I would get that.
And like I have so many friends that have had their cars stolen multiple times and broken into and almost everyone has been robbed at some point.
I've never been like I would leave my gear bag in my car all the time back home.
I would leave my fucking wallet. I would leave everything in my...
Stress. Never stress whatsoever. I would, like, literally anywhere I'm going, my bag is out of my car. Like,
yeah.
Because, like, there's no, like, I live in a reasonably good area, like, where I live in St. Louis, but, like, I still would never leave anything in my car.
Yeah.
I would never, like, it's just, there's just just the crime, all of it. It's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
That you just I think everyone here is just very numb to it, and you kind of have to be, because otherwise, if you're not numb to it, you're just gonna
really anxious and you don't want to leave, and
and then you just stay in your house forever, and then you start thinking about ways you're unsafe in your own house, and then
then
it just fucking spirals.
And it's like, I was at a gym a couple of weeks ago in New York, and there was a sign on there, and I put it on my close friend story, and it was a sign that was like, this is what you should do if there's an active shooter situation, and like gave you all the info. And I was just like, it's so crazy that this is the reality that we live in. Is we've accepted, hey, this thing is part of society, and we have to acknowledge it and accept it and try and train people to kind of know what to do in a situation like that, because we're not going to be able to fix it.
Well, it's like everyone here, like all of our friends here would have experienced active shooter drills at school.
Yeah.
It's something we never in our life. What? Like, we had fire drills? It might be a fun.
Yeah, we had a fire drill, which was like just to fuck around. Like, but you wouldn't pay attention because you go, whatever, this is a fun day, we get to walk around. But
like, we never like, I would have no idea what to do in an active shooter situation.
I mean, I do, because I've fucking researched it.
Yeah.
Because that's my way of coping with something, is like, if I'm scared of something, I've got to learn everything to do it. Yeah.
I'm trying to, like, pretend it doesn't exist.
But that's the thing. Yeah, it's you've kind of got to go one way or the other. But no, I just find it such a difference to Australia. And then when I traveled to Japan, I was like, fuck, it's so safe here. Like, it reminded me of what it feels like at home, of like, you can walk down the street at night and you're chilling. Yeah. But this is a conversation that I try to have with a lot of my male friends. Oh, and it falls on deaf ears a lot of the time.
They're like, whatever. Just
if you've never felt threatened, and this is, and I'm not saying that men can't be victims, because of course men can be victims, and they are, of course they are. But majority of the time, violence in that way is directed towards women. Yes. And most guys, I feel like, can go to their hotel room at night and feel pretty safe. Mm-hmm. Not everywhere, of course. But, like, for instance, a few weeks ago, I was at a hotel and the lady gave me the room key. And in Australia, they'll give you the room key and go, your room 412. Yeah. You go, okay, thank you. And she gave me the key and she said, this is your room number. Mm. In my head, I thought, why the fuck didn't she just say what it is? And then I turned around and there's 4 men standing behind me. And it was 1 a.m. and I was a girl traveling by myself. And I was like, oh, here they don't say that because it's a risk. You're at risk all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, there's things like, I always get really anxious if I'm on a bottom floor hotel room, even if I'm in a nice hotel. Mm-hmm. Like, being on a bottom floor scares me. Never good. Like, it will just get through those windows. Absolutely. Like, there's, like, just little things like that. Like I'm sure a guy has never got. I'm sure every guy gets a bottom floor hotel and thinks, "Fuck yeah, I don't have to go upstairs."
Exactly. I was just about to say, I bet a guy wants a bottom floor so he doesn't have to take his bags up. Yeah. We're like, I'll carry all my shit if it means I'm 1% safer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I will carry every bag I have to up those flights of stairs if it means that no one can sneak in through the fucking window.
Yeah. And I was actually talking to Matt about this recently, because it was when I was single and I was on all the dating apps and shit. And I was telling him how hard it is to trust a stranger. Like, trying to navigate dating, especially as a foreigner in a city where you don't really know anyone, and just putting the trust of like, I'm just going to meet up with this completely random person and go to their house and hope that they don't have a gun there.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do some crazy shit. Like, it feels like the stakes are a lot higher here with dating.
Yes.
Seems like a lot more shit goes on. A lot more people have been incarcerated or have had issues with the courts, and it's crazy.
Did you ever find out if like Florida has like a database?
A database of it does.
Yeah,
you can openly look up everyone's
stuff
history.
Yeah, which is something I learnt from being on, like, Missouri has one, and that's something I learnt from being in the dating pool for a little while here.
Yeah,
it's like you can search up everyone, because
and it's crazy because I would never think.
I would never, if I was dating in Australia, I'd never check someone's fucking criminal history,
because most people that I knew and I associated with didn't have one.
Yeah.
But here it's like a legitimate like part of dating is like, all right, I need to research what the fuck crimes they've committed.
Committed and how many times they've been married. Because it's all on there.
How many babies
they got.
Lots of babies, lots of stuff going on. But that is something that I was saying to Matt, is I was saying how dangerous it feels. Because, it's like it can be dangerous for us too, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, he was trying to relate.
Yeah.
And yes, of course it can be dangerous. But what I'm saying is, I wasn't talking about bad dating experiences, because what's the worst thing that happens for a guy if he goes on a date and it doesn't go well for him? He doesn't really like her. She's annoying. She talks too much. He fucking needs to shit. Whatever the fucking thing is that's going to ruin your date, probably not a life-threatening situation. But for a woman to go on a date with a stranger and then things go wrong, it can literally, and often does, lead to some sort of assault and murder for some people. It's just fucking crazy.
It's like, and men get like shitty about all these groups on Facebook that get created, but they're being created because women are literally in danger.
Women are dying.
Like, women are dying, and like, we're out of like ways to protect ourselves. Yeah. Because you'll all just lie and
and it's not like it's not I
everyone.
hate men.
Men are fine.
We're not. That's not what it is at all. I love men. Like, I've got a fucking brother. I've got a dad. I've got you know what I mean. Like, it's not that, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel quite strongly about the topic of like women's safety, basically.
No, and that's completely
because it's like here we are.
Yeah.
Like, we're in it.
We're in a hotel room right now, and as soon as we walked in, I double dead bolted this room.
Yeah, and I go check behind the shower curtain and I open all the fucking...
like, it's just what we do. And like, these are just things that you guys would just never even think, or like, I'll like call someone if I'm walking to my car, or like just...
You've got your key in your fucking hand.
Like, there's all these like things that are just ingrained in us.
I've had a husband anytime a strange man has asked me for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
If I'm married. Yep.
Very.
Very married.
Very married.
Remember that fucking greyhound? I want you to tell this whole day.
Well, okay.
That was IWA.
Yes, it was IWA Mid-South. What happened on the Greyhound? I remember the Greyhound being long.
So the Greyhound was 8 hours.
Yes.
And we got on. And you, no offense.
I'm very dumb.
Very, very naive, Australian, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, wide-eyed, I'm foreign, everyone look at me, I'm so foreign, girl. So just very clearly has no idea what the fuck she's doing and very easy to take advantage of. And I'm sitting next to her being
we also need to clarify that I was like, I would have been like, 27 or, and you were like 21.
I was like 19.
19. And I would have been like a grown adult at this point. She's just saying.
And I'm a baby being like.
She's saying, me, no idea.
Yeah, I'm going, Shazza, do less. Anyway, so we get on this Greyhound. The first thing, there's this real fucking crackhead looking, because for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, a Greyhound bus is like the really cheap buses that will take you state to state.
Yeah.
In America, basically. It's a very easy way.
It's a cheap way if you want to go visit someone.
Go far.
Sometimes these flights, very expensive.
But what I'm saying is the collection of people that you would see on these trains, especially if you're in very rural areas, can be interesting.
Yeah.
So we get on.
Yeah.
And there's this crackhead looking guy. He goes, are y'all married? And we were both like, yeah, we've got husbands. We're fully married. Fully fucking married. We've both got husbands. Yeah. And we sit down and I look at her and go, Shazza, we're going to fucking die today. Because you had agreed to this 8-hour fucking flea market.
Originally, Dave Prazak was driving us.
What happened with that?
His car. The day before he had car issues.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Prazak.
So then he was like, you guys are going to have to take
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Prazak was originally taking us.
I didn't know that.
Because he was supposed to commentate the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then let's go to that. So then we get...
let's go to the show.
Where was it? Where is that shit? Indiana? Kentucky? Was it Kentucky? Where the fuck is Kentucky?
Yeah.
What state is that?
Do you remember who picked us up
Or is Kentucky a state?
Louisville, Kentucky's a state.
Steak? Kentucky's a steak.
It's real close to me. I think it's like 4 hours from me.
Everything's 4 hours.
Wait, have I wrestled in Kentucky then?
Yeah, we wrestled in Kentucky. That's another state for your fucking state.
I don't think I have that on my thing. I was saying I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to like cross-reference that, but that's very exciting.
It is.
Because everyone's always like, that's really shocking you've never wrestled in Kentucky. And I was like, yeah, I know, that's really weird.
No, I think you have wrestled in Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, that would make sense.
Well, wrestled is a strong word. We did.
I wrestled.
We did. Oh, you wrestled Rain, didn't you?
I wrestled Rain.
That was actually a banger.
Yeah, I had a sneaky banger.
I had dog shit.
My first triple threat, wasn't it? Yeah.
Me, Hudson Envy, and Shotzi Blackheart.
Fuck, yeah.
I was in love with Shotzi. I always have been.
Who is it?
Shotzi, you're the fucking goat. I've loved her since the day I saw her.
An absolute babe.
Yeah. Huge Shotzi fan since day one.
Shout out Shotzi.
Shotzi. You're the fuck. No, I'm gonna fucking tag her in it.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Let's go.
We fucking love you.
We love you.
But anyway, we were at
IWA Mid-South, which had...
It was a women's show. It was a women's tournament.
Mm-hmm. Of triple threat matches, which sounds like the worst wrestling show you could ever...
And then my match wasn't part of the tournament, I guess.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to be part of the photo.
The photo. Shit. The photo that caused a lot of controversy, didn't it?
I knocked the...
That's okay, I can still hear you. Good. So, what happened with this infamous photo?
So, the photo, you guys all went out.
We did.
And it was like doors are open.
All but one.
All but one. Everyone but one person came out.
Okay, so we're doing this fucking tournament. And all of a sudden the promoter, Ian Rotten, is going, everyone get in the ring. We're going to take a photo with the trophy. Everyone in the ring, we're taking a photo with the trophy.
And I feel like you probably weren't even... Because this is when you had a mask. So
but I went out there because
I
wasn't a fucking idiot. But I definitely wasn't ready. But I was like, nah. Everyone was like putting one boot on, like going out, being like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be out there, so I was just backstage while this was all happening.
Yeah.
So then while we were backstage, the one girl that didn't go out, Ian Ron goes up to her and is like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? like,
what are you doing?
Get out there.
Yeah.
And she was like, I haven't done.
Yeah, she was like, I haven't done my makeup.
Yeah,
I'm not ready. I'm not fucking going.
Yeah, whatever. And then did it happen once you guys got backstage?
Yeah, because
right?
by the time I got backstage, Ian was like, I'm paying you. Get the fuck to the ring. And she was like, fuck you. I'm not fucking going anywhere. I need to do my makeup. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So then when we came back, then Ian's like, you're off the fucking show.
Off the show. You're off it.
You're kicked out. You're off. Fuck yeah. And then she goes, which is the baller move here, goes, I'm not fucking leaving until you pay me.
Yes.
I love it.
I'd forgotten about it.
She goes, I've come to this fucking show. If you don't want me to wrestle, I'm not wrestling. You fucking pay me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, pop off. Anyways, I think mine and yours memories from this are slightly different. So what happens next for you?
I remember her going to hit him and him grabbing her by the hair and like dragging her down to the ground.
That's exactly what I remember.
Yeah.
I was going to say she swung and I just saw him grab her weave and literally took her to the floor.
Yeah, like
they were on the floor.
Ground. Yeah,
and
I don't think she ever actually she didn't actually hit it but she went to and he.
But it was like she went for like a pussy like I think it got a lot more serious when he went to the fucking floor.
That was when I feel like as soon as that happened, we both just turned away and were like, nah, like
everyone backstage was like, no, like, this is fucked. What is going on? Shotzi was crying at this point.
Yes,
because she was winning the tournament and it was triple threat matches and people were politicking and getting their matches changed.
Yeah.
So her matches kept changing and she was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, and like the crowd this is also, we're backstage.
Oh my God, dude.
And like it's one room, so the backstage is just a sheet.
It's literally it's a sheet. So you've got
like
the promoter and a talent screaming at each other and a physical fight going down.
Just on the other side. And there's
people just
like
sitting
the doors are open. Like the crowd is there.
And this is a full flea market. Like a legitimate flea market.
This is the first time I'd ever been
This is the first time. I was like, what is...
Yeah, I've always heard the joke.
Real?
Well, yeah, like I didn't know that.
Flea
like
markets.
Whenever everyone was like wrestling in the flea market, I didn't think that was a real
actual flea market. Yeah, I wrestled in a flea market like 3 months ago.
That's wild.
Wild. I didn't know it was a flea market. I got paid very well. PPW.
Okay. Was it in
Philadelphia?
Baltimore?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I've wrestled in a flea market in Baltimore.
Right.
So
it's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, but if
you pay.
But people like have it's a stall that they have in the flea market.
It's
essentially,
like
they set up their little
it's crazy
arena that just lives there. Yeah, and then they just run shows.
America is like such a different world. Wrestling,
so many. I don't think anyone back home. They're all like, whenever I'm like, it's just a completely different beast. I think they think that we're like bullshitting or like we.
I always used to say wrestling in America would give you 1 year of experience that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
1 month in America was equivalent to a year of experience in Australia.
Absolutely. Without it. Yeah. Because
you're forced to level up.
You just have to go.
Because everyone is so chaotic and all over the place. And in Australia, you've got your fucking 5 hours to plan the match and get in the ring beforehand and go over your spots and blah, 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 blah. And America,
you've shown up 7 hours before doors.
Your opponent's rocking up as the show is starting and they're fucking high and they're
high, they've driven 10 hours.
They're drunk. Yeah, it's whatever. They don't want to do shit. Someone's got a fucking broken neck. Whatever. Yeah. And you just go, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But we're just going to fucking survive. Yeah. It is such a different experience.
Yeah.
Like I have gotten, even in the last 6 months of being on the indies, I have gotten so much more comfortable with going into a match, not really knowing what the fuck is going on. Like you call it like, and you go over it once and you go, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And that, when I was in Australia, would have fucking terrified me.
Yeah.
It would have paralyzed me. I remember training when they were doing chain when I first started and I'd be like, what the fuck? What do I do next? How do I know what to do? Like, I used to be so bad at just chilling out.
And just
going, like, I needed, and I think because I was a dancer.
Yeah.
And dancing is you learn one routine and you rep it out and you get it fucking move for move that it's just like second nature. Whereas wrestling is like, learn parts of this, remember this for a bit. But then once you do it, dump it. Because you're going to do one the next day and it's different.
Yeah, it's completely different.
So you've got to dump whatever you do and then you do another one. You know what I mean?
It's like, I used to be able to like tell you what had happened in like my match like a month ago or whatever. Like I couldn't, no idea. Like I could probably tell you like a general idea of the moves I probably did at some point, but like could not tell you.
Have you noticed, and this is really bad, but have you noticed that the longer you've been in wrestling and the older you get, and obviously the more we've been hit in the head, seriously, do you feel like your memory has taken a toll?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember shit.
Anything.
I watch long, elaborate spots that people do and I go, how do you remember that?
Yeah, what? I can remember, like, I remember things based on, like, I remember where I am in a match. Like, what am I, like, in this point?
Oh, yeah, like, I'm, like, about to go into the comeback, so I'm probably going to do a hold. What hold would
it be? Right. Like, I go,
which will go into that. So, like, you've got to...
Yeah, I think about, like, I don't remember, like, I think, okay, so what do we do? Like, if I'm in control, what would I do? Like,
yeah. But if someone wanted to do, like, a long, extended, running lucha spot, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's probably...
Because I could if I really needed to.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. And I think if we don't run as much and we slow it down and we plug in some bits that are, like, fun and entertaining, it's probably going to be a more entertaining match. You know?
Probably.
Probably.
Look, but like, there are people that want to see everyone run for. And
I think I've just never wanted to be one of those kind of obvious. I'm fucking Sasquatch. I couldn't even if I wanted to. What am I kidding? I'm sitting here acting like it was a personal choice of mine that I didn't want to fucking run in wrestling. I'm too big for that. But I don't know. I think I'm not saying it's not what I enjoy to watch, but it's not really what I enjoy to watch. Yeah. So I think you're I don't know. I'm naturally drawn to kind of like perform the stuff that I enjoy to watch, which is not good for everyone because some people's favorite wrestling is like lucha, but they're a giant, or you know what I mean?
Exactly. You
can't always just do what you want to do. So I guess I'm lucky that I'm kind of doing the style that I want to do. But what
would you say is the style you want to do though?
Like the sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because that's what got us into watching wrestling.
Right.
Like
exactly.
we didn't sit at like home like
I didn't
watching
know
Japan.
I didn't know the indies existed.
10
I didn't
hours.
know I don't, maybe I'm an arsehole if I say this, but like I don't want to watch 3 hours of any wrestling. I don't want to watch 1 hour.
I have not watched.
I've got ADHD.
Amount.
I can't even watch my favorite movies half the time,
Yeah.
let alone watch 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 hours of wrestling. And I think that might be where I get drawn into that sports entertainment, is because my attention is held for longer when it's drama and when it's passion and when it's people speaking and when it's emotions. Like I can hold on to that more. Like I would much rather watch a 10-minute wedding segment than a 10-minute match. But that's just me.
You have to tell me about watching wedding segments.
Right. I'm going to do a wedding soon.
I'm doing a wedding soon.
Who are you marrying?
It's a secret.
Wait, where?
The one place that would let me do a wedding.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know if it's still going to happen, but I hope so.
What month is it in?
Well, it was going to be at the start of next year, I think. Like a thing to...
Okay.
It might not happen.
Stay tuned.
Who knows? But I was very passionate about I needed a wrestling wedding.
Yeah.
And so if it doesn't work out there, I'll find another place.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Someone
will let
me. Yeah. But yeah, I'm also trying to get married. Because we're insane.
We're probably going to get married at the same company, I feel.
Really?
Well,
no, mine's going to be a different one.
Okay.
Because I think we're on the same bullshit. But no, that's cool. That works.
Yeah.
I was in your wedding, your real wedding.
I know, that's wild.
Could you imagine? Run it back. If I'm on the show with your wedding, I need to be a bridesmaid again.
Yes, okay. But can Maven be... I want Maven as the...
Who's paying for Maven? Maven's over on YouTube now, dude. His fucking fee has gone up this week.
Yeah, that's just true. Fuck.
That's crazy. Damn, you're going to lose Maven, dude. Maven's going to be back in the Fed.
No, because Matt will get the buddy. You'll like be like, bridesmaid, buddy, get to Maven.
What, you're asking me to ask Matt to get
to Maven? To Maven.
I'm going to use Matt's rub for my wedding, not for yours.
Is Maven going to be in your wedding?
No, but I'm going to pull some sort of, hey, Matt.
But if you get Maven, it's like, you can have Maven. I just need to be at the wedding. I love Maven.
Because he's your favourite wrestler. I have heard about this.
Is that how I love Maven?
Yeah.
Of course you have.
Does he know?
Have I not told you of me meeting Maven?
Recently?
It was last year.
What happened?
Was that you definitely
I disassociate sometimes.
Short-term memory.
Yeah.
It was at spring break last year.
Where were we last year?
Dallas.
Oh. Yeah. I can't remember that weekend.
Yeah, that
was my last couple of weeks at the Fed. I really was disassociating.
So, because he was in the clusterfuck.
Ah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in the clusterfuck.
Yeah, he was in the clusterfuck.
That's cool.
And the night before, I was at MLW, and our old mate, who's also a big fan of Maven, was at MLW.
Wait, who's that?
Not our mate anymore.
Oh, that's a pop.
So he was at MLW, and he is also a very big Maven.
Of course he is, fucking
fan,
Mark.
and had Maven's phone number.
Of course he did.
And so he messaged Maven the night before and said, hey, there's this Australian girl that's really excited to meet you. I don't know. Anyway, I show up.
Of course, Maven was like, Australian girl excited to meet me.
So I see Maven at GCW. He's sitting backstage by himself. No one's talking.
No one's bothering him, but I sure am.
I sure am going to. That's what I'm going to do. So then I go up to him. I go, hi, I just wanted to say that you're my favorite wrestler. And he said, oh, so-and-so said that I was going to meet you today. That's, like, so exciting. Can I just ask, like, why am I your favorite wrestler? And I said, I don't know. I turned on the TV in 2004 and I saw you and I said, that's my guy. And now we're here.
Wow.
He's like, that's so cool. Like, you ever need anything, let me know. Gave me his number. I have his number in my phone. I think I could get him to do my wedding.
I've got the hookup.
I said, he said, like, because his big thing when he was like, I know what it's like to meet your heroes and then not to, like, live up to, like, being good people or whatever. And I just don't want to be that for you. So, like, you ever need anything, blah, blah, blah.
Wow, what a nice guy.
Lovely. Then the fucking clusterfuck happens. It gets better, Steph. It hasn't ended. It gets even better. Okay. Clusterfuck happens. I get eliminated directly before Maven's entrance. So I'm still out. Like, I don't get to get drop kicked by him, but whatever. Yeah. I'm, like, on the ground. Maven, like, comes down, does these drop kicks or whatever. I go, like, to, like, sit on I'm, like, on the ramp so I can watch him do his drop kicks. Yeah. Because he does his drop kicks and then he eliminates himself. He goes, okay.
He eliminated himself?
He does some drop kicks.
That's a pop.
And leaves. He says, oh, see ya. Comes up the ramp, sees me on the ramp, picks me up, and does all these motherfucking things. Yeah, it's literally
do you have photos of this?
Yeah, of course I do. Jax was on the fucking ramp.
What?
He got all the photos for me, man. It's literally, like, the best day of my life, and I should have retired the next day because it literally is never going to get better than that.
Maven Shazza photos here.
Yeah, I'll send them to you.
Shit.
Yeah, like...
Fuck, that's cool.
And then, like, every now and then he'll, like, mention me on podcasts and stuff.
I've really just disassociated that entire timeline of my life.
It's completely fair. I understand.
Fuck, Maven, dude.
Yeah,
Flip.
Maven.
Good for you.
He's my homie.
Shit.
Yeah.
Do you know who you're marrying yet and you're just not telling me?
No, I do know. Yeah, I know.
You do know? Okay,
yeah, I don't want to ruin it for fans.
After this, tell me.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know if it'll continue because now I'm in... I'm in a different storyline there at the moment that came out of nowhere.
We've got much to discuss.
Yeah. But this I am on the wedding. I don't know why I did that so intensely.
Well, she's Shazza McKenzie. She sure is intense.
That's all I know.
So, just to kind of backpedal a bit.
Yes.
You're an Australian.
Yes.
Why do you live in America now?
Because I want to be a professional wrestler on the independent wrestling scene and I want to do this. I want to make money wrestling for a living and can't do that in Australia. Can do that here without having anyone be in control of me as well. Get to do it all by myself, which is a lot of work, but you know. Yeah. Strong independent woman.
So how was that as a decision for you to make?
Look, whilst it is like a huge decision, it was always the end goal. The end goal was to find a way to America. Yeah. There was always find a way to get to America, find a way to get to America, like find a way to live in America. That was always the end goal. So once I figured out a way that I could possibly do it, it
was like a no-brainer.
It was fine. Like it was then the plan is how do I get the money to do this? How do I build, like what other steps I need to take? Plan, execute. You know how it is. Yeah. That's how we do it. Something needs to get done, we get it fucking done.
Ooh, we do. No, and that's something that's similar for me and you is because people ask me that too. They go, is that such a big thing to move to the other side of the world from all your friends and family? But for me, it's like the day I stepped inside a wrestling ring, I said, I'm going to WWE and I'm going to live in America one day. And it sounds delusional as hell, but back then I said it and I knew that was going to happen. And I'd been prepping my parents for the last 5 years of, hey, just to let you guys know, I'm moving to America. I'm moving to America. And they knew, and everyone knew that was the end goal. So it's like, I don't know, it wasn't this shock. And it's not, I don't know, like to me, and maybe it sounds super self-centered or whatever, but like it's my life and it needs to be lived the way that I want it to. And I've feel very blessed that I've always had parents that are like, you need to follow your path and live your life and do what you want to do. What has your parents been like in the process?
Look, they've watched me go up and down through a million things, but they, like everyone else, they always knew that going to America was the goal.
Yeah.
And they, like, they're very sad that I live on the other side of the world, obviously, especially because they're getting quite old. They're getting old now. So, like, you know, like, the years, it's like we don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hang out with.
She just put her parents in the grave. She put him in the grave.
But like,
she said, my parents are 105 and they're dropping dead next week.
They're nearly 80. Like, they are quite old, and like they have all those like things in place for like when that happens, right?
It's not the answer I was looking for, but
other than that, they're fine with it.
She's like, other than the imminent death, they're going really well.
They love that I'm over here. As long as they just follow me. They don't follow me on Twitter because they don't have Twitter. They don't understand how it works. But the way they make sure that I'm like alive and okay is they just like check my Twitter every day.
Which is so weird because my mum the other day accidentally exposed herself that she looks at my Twitter. And I was like, I thought that was my one platform that I didn't have you fucking stalking my life. But she looks at my Twitter as well.
Yeah. See, my parents don't know that I know that they look at my Twitter.
How do you know?
Because they're also very stupid.
They actually like shit on their burner accounts?
Well, no, they'll say something to me and it'll be something that I know
I've only ever tweeted.
That I've tweeted and I've not said to them. And I'll be like, yeah, so. And then like the next day I think like the last time I caught my mum doing that, the next day I was like, hi mum, I know you're reading my tweets. And I like tweeted it out. And then she said, how did you know? I said, mum, because you said the thing that I only like, what are you,
and your Twitter can be fucking wild at times, dude.
And they'll never mention any of the wild shit though.
Really?
Yeah. And not once have they ever been like, wait, so where do you get your money? You're just wrestling once.
What, they don't know about OnlyFans?
I mean, they obviously know about it because they check my Twitter every day to make sure I'm alive.
Yeah, fuck.
But they will never, ever mention it to me.
So you haven't had that conversation? Huh? God, that's interesting.
Just never, they'll never, nothing that I've ever, think about everything over the years that I've tweeted.
Oh, I know. We've argued about it. We've had fights about your Twitter.
Yeah, like literally, they will never, ever mention any of it.
That's crazy.
Insane. But that's how I just tell if I don't want to tell my parents something, I can just tweet it.
Yeah, I got a face tat and my dad didn't even mention it at all.
Yeah.
And then he was texting me about the AFL Grand Final the other day. And I was like, do you like my new tat? And he goes, I wasn't going to mention it. I'm not a fan. And I said, I don't give a fuck. I said, I love it. I think it looks great. But no, I love when the parents just go where no one's acknowledging this.
Yeah,
we all know it exists and we're just going to dance around the elephant in the room.
Forever.
And that's why everyone our parents' age needs to go to therapy.
And that's why we all got fucked up. And have horrible coping mechanisms.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
It's right. They did their best.
They did.
And everyone's just always doing their best. I think we need to remember, everyone that is living life is living it for the first time.
Where did you get that from? Who the fuck?
Has no fucking idea
Gandhi, where did you get that? I know you didn't think that.
I could remember.
I know you didn't think that. So where did you read it?
I wish I could remember who said that to me. Because it was a very profound conversation.
It sounds profound, but then when you apply that to like serial killers and shit, you go, well, they're also doing life for the first time and they're fucking it up.
They are fucking it up.
They're doing it wrong, dude.
They may be doing it the incorrect way. You've brought up a valid point.
Isn't it interesting that when you get to, I don't know how you feel, but I always just assume that you and I feel the same at the same time because we have similar brains. But how when you work on your own issues and stress and whatever else, and you come to like a more calm experience, in day-to-day life, like removing stress from your life where possible, and you are a bit more grounded, isn't it interesting how everything else in life kind of follows?
Yeah, because I think it's like the calming energy attracts more calming energy.
Yeah.
Like, and chaos attracts chaos.
It does.
Chaos fucking feeds off
chaos.
So, like, if things are chaotic, like, you just, once you have to, like, get rid of the core thing that's making things chaotic, and then, like,
it all kind of dissipates.
Because it doesn't have anything to feed off.
Yeah.
I think it's...
No, it's just interesting. Like, I feel like you and I... How long have we known each other for? What year is it?
It's 23 to 2014?
15. 8. Almost 8 years.
Yeah.
Shit. 8 years, dude.
You were a child.
I was a fucking baby. I was 18 years old.
Yeah,
little young boy.
Little young boy Steph.
Young boy Steph. Isn't it interesting that our friendships, like, you and I have really experienced a lot together?
So much.
Which is crazy, like, because you don't, like, I don't think about it, but then when you think about it, you go, what the fuck?
Yeah. We literally...
Like, grew up together.
Yeah.
Have experienced relationships, breakups, marriages, fucking so much traveling, so much wrestling. We've been to multiple places in the world together.
Lives that no... Like,
but we've also our friendship, which I think is interesting and unique, is, like, we've beefed before.
Oh, yeah.
But we figure it out and we come back together.
Exactly. Like, and I think that's, like, it's we're not good at communicating, but we're good at figuring out when we need to...
Like, be like, something's off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like...
And I think it's because we both, like, don't want to... How do I put this? Like, I don't want to bury you behind your back. You don't want to bury me. It's like we'll bury to each other and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a lost art in life.
Everyone else is the other way.
Yeah.
Everyone's very big on
bullshit to the face, bury behind the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just...
Wrestling is especially profound for bullshit to the face, isn't it?
Yes.
I think it's because it's such a like singular solo sport.
It's so unique because it's a team sport, but at the end of the day, you individually want to be the best.
Mm-hmm. And someone else's success, as much as we want to pretend it doesn't, can directly affect your career, and then your career equals your dreams being met and money and being set up for the future and experiences and title belts and championships and contracts, and like it's so loaded. Yeah,
it's so loaded, and it's also so fickle because whichever way it goes can come down to one person, their decision,
one thing on that day, and what mood they were in, and who walked past and saw you at the right time.
Yeah, it can come down to something so stupid that like.
It doesn't reflect how talented you are. It doesn't reflect, like, when you're in the Olympics or whatever, it's like, how fast you run is how fast you run. There's no fucking arguments about this shit. Yeah. It's so clinical. Whereas wrestling, it's so subjective. Who's the best at what?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to judge this shit. It's opinions.
It's creating different. Like, it's everyone's answer to the question will be different.
Yes.
Like, and so therefore it just can't
be judged because there's no rule book, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just whoever that day at that time has the power to make that decision, and that's the most fucked thing about this whole thing. But you have to just let go of that, and because it is so fickle. Yeah. There's nothing there is never anything
you can only control so much.
It's
totally out of your hands.
Yeah. Like, you can control what you can control, but you have to let go of things that you can't control.
And how do you let go of that? Like, do you think you've had a period? Because you and I have always, like, openly said that we wanted to work at WWE.
Yeah.
So how is that still the same for you, or has that changed?
No, it's definitely changed. I don't know what the exact moment was. Because, like, there was definitely a moment where I went, okay, AEW is everything. But there was a moment, so, because you were with me through it when I had my tryout. You came and, like, helped
Extras
me get
work as well, yeah.
Oh my God. So, like, and so I was so, like, WWE, and I remember having the conversation with Brandy about AEW, and it's so instantly, like, AEW wasn't even a thing at the time. I didn't even know what it could possibly be.
So you had a conversation with Brandy before AEW even really existed?
Yeah, so in November 2019.
Shit.
No, 2018. 18, yeah.
Right.
It was just, it was when they were down
in Australia World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, as soon as, like, that conversation happened, then my brain switched off from WWE completely, which is fascinating because I think it was also, like, maybe, like, 2 or 3 weeks after we'd gotten back from, like, Evolution.
I wasn't at Evolution. I was injured that year.
Fuck, you were injured that year.
Yeah, so I didn't go. But everyone else did.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh, no, but no, that's part of life.
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
the journey.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what happened, but there was definitely, like, a switch. Like, I mean, I know I had that conversation, but I don't know how it was so easily switched.
Is it just that there was the existence of AEW, so it was like, oh, now all my eggs don't have to be in this one basket?
I think so. I think it was like,
and also this is like a new fun goal to, like, this is a new thing to try and chase.
Yeah, exactly. And I think more than anything, it was American visa. That was and I think maybe that is what helped change my mindset, because there was very specifically a point where it became, I just want a visa for you. I just want to be able to live and work in America. And I didn't care who, where, like.
Which this is something that I say all the time. Like, as an Australian wrestler, you signed the first contract put in front of you.
Yeah.
Because your main goal, if you really want to make it, should be getting to the US.
Yes.
So if any company is offering you, here is a visa to move, you don't even think about it. You go. And then you figure out the rest from there. So I think that's the thing. It's like, you know how American wrestlers are like, oh, WWE, like, wanted me, but, like, I didn't really want to go yet. And there's no... we don't get a fucking choice. Yeah. And I think when it starts on that, like you're not even allowed to kind of have a bit of respect for yourself and a bit of pride and try and negotiate. We're
already, like,
we're desperate.
Just desperate for a scrap.
For anything.
Just something.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's like, it was literally just a desperation to come over here and, like, have a work. Because I know when I'm over here, I work. I know when I'm over here, I can stay booked and busy, and, like, I knew even without a major company, I'd be able to do that.
Yeah, we had especially you had enough connections that we knew it would be okay.
It was just, we couldn't get out, like, there was no way of getting over here without a contract. So I think it just became into that, and then I think as soon as I think it was when Lufisto got her US visa last year. And, like, the fact that I knew I still wasn't as going to be as lucky, like, as likely as she was, because I knew she'd previously had a visa and all these things as well. And, like, she obviously had, like, a lot more, like, storied history and things with everything she's done for wrestling.
But it was hope.
But it was like this, I was like,
it's
okay,
possible.
Someone has done it without a company. Like, they've found a way of doing it. So I messaged her immediately. Like, asked her a million questions, got all the rundown of that, talked to her lawyer people as well, and then I, like, started Googling trying to find other places. I ended up with a different place. But, like, the fact, like, it was always just once I could legally work it, because if you can't legally work,
you can't do anything.
You can't do it. Like,
what you do is you risk getting deported.
You risk getting deported
for 5 years.
Like, and
that's a death sentence to your career as well, by the way.
And, like, you come over here, and if you're here and you do get in, you can't do anything. You can't do extras work. You can't work for any.
You can't do anything.
You can't do it. Like, so what's the point?
So what's
like, you
the
just
point?
Run it. Like, I could do these tours for 3 months as regularly as I could,
spinning your
but I
wheel.
was just spinning my wheel. There was
There's no
I couldn't get
progression.
anywhere. I couldn't get anywhere.
There's no progression. I couldn't even get my boyfriend at the time a tryout with WWE because they wouldn't even let him try out because he didn't have a visa. I was like, that doesn't even make fucking sense.
Yeah.
I was like, let him do extra. Let him roll in a fucking room with no one else in there. But they wouldn't even let him walk in the building.
Yeah. It's like you're
so handcuffed.
Because you need to get in front of you need people to see you to get the opportunity to be able to be seen, but you can't be seen because you don't have the stuff that you need to, you can't get there because it's impossible.
Yeah, when I got released, I cried that night and Indy came over and we just, because she's Australian too, looked at each other and go, what the fuck am I going to do about this visa? Because I was in NXT and I knew the next day I would wake up with 29 days before I got deported. So thankfully, Indy reached out to Chelsea Green, which is hilarious of all people. Chelsea gave me her lawyers and her managers and all of that and gave me all the contacts I needed. And I lucked out so much by getting my manager to sponsor me as his athlete, which got me my visa. But when I rang them and I spoke to them the next day, they said, look, most of the people that we've done this for had 90 days because they were on main roster. You have 30 and now you have 29 and we don't know if we can do it in time. And I thought, fuck, okay. And they go, look, just go out and for the next day, try and get as many bookings as you can and then come back and we'll see what we can do. And I went and got like 10 bookings overnight. And they go, look, you've done really well. You're obviously very committed to this. So we're going to try and go through. But even still, we didn't know if it was going to come through or not. There was no guarantee. You pay thousands of dollars to apply. Yep. I've spent probably 12 grand on my visa in the last year and a half. Yeah. And that's another side of getting released or getting fucked over in any way that people don't realize as a foreigner is like, it's not about the job. I mourned my visa. Like it's about the visa.
it's the legally being allowed to work here. Yeah. Like, just how hard, like all the money that I spent to get this visa, every step of the way in this like you get we'll accept, we've got it now, we'll read it, we'll this team will approve it, but it's got to go to the next team, and then you got to do, like there's so many steps along the way that like you're like, oh, this is it, this is the one that like stops. So it's not until I was literally in the country that I was like, okay,
you can take a breath and you go, okay.
And then like the first time I left for like an out of country, same panic.
Scary, right?
So
you get PTSD every time I go through security. I still feel like I've done something wrong. Yeah. Even though I have the visa with the date and it's valid, I still go. They're going to flag me. They're going to kick me out.
This is the I'm
every time they ask, "What are you here for? What do you do?"
I wrestle. Everything I own is going to go.
Yeah, my 2 cats are going to be left in their apartment because I'm going to get fucking deported.
Exactly. That's what I think every time. But,
it's crazy. Okay, well, we lost the video because I forgot that I didn't know how much memory is on my memory card, and apparently fucking not much because it died, but hopefully the rest of it saved. We'll just add in a fun little photo of us, photos of our asses for this little 2 minutes of speech. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. No. I forgot that this was a microphone for a second. I went to be like,
it's okay, you can hear it on both sides.
Oh.
Well, you and I can just fucking talk forever.
Yeah.
We don't shut the fuck up, do we? Nah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Shazza McKenzie. Where can people find you on socials?
I am at Shazza_McKenzie on the Twitter and on the it's not Twitter, it's X. And
it's Twitter.
Instagram. Where you will find links to the best way to support me, which is onlyfans.com/Shazza McKenzie.
I was going to ask you what one thing you wanted to plug the most, but you already did it.
It's my OnlyFans.
It's the OnlyFans.
I mean, I guess if you want to book me to wrestle, I do that
Nah,
too.
Fuck it. Subscribe to her OnlyFans, guys. All right, thank you so much. This was episode 3. I feel like we need to do another one because we barely covered anything because we're insane. But yeah, that's it. That is cooked.
Cooked.